So welcome back to episode 2 of the Manchester City Career Mode here in Season 3. Bordalas has been sacked by Chelsea, relieved of his duties in charge, and Anna Slot is a new Bayern manager as Vincent Kompany decides to take over at Inter. That is big changes in the sort of manager market around the world of football. Of course, Pep Guardiola stays at Manchester City, and our first transfer away from the club is Finlay Gorman joining Oxford on a permanent deal. That is a decent move for him, and Jeremy Doku has agreed a €60 million move to Fulham in the Premier League. Big falling out between Pep Guardiola and Jeremy Doku. Doku leaves, as does Joel Dahl, a confirmed move permanent from his loan to Sheffield United for €3.7 million, but lots on that Jeremy Doku deal. Rumours of him not being happy, fell out with Pep Guardiola, and Manchester City decided to let him go, and even better news as well, because Phil Foden is back from injury. But we all eyes on this man in today's episode, and that is Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr., because we can pick him up on a free transfer. Stats-wise for last season, 50 games, 17 goals and 13 assists. I mean, Bellingham's stats look absolutely incredible. He scored 25 goals. The intention is to take Vinicius Jr. to the next level, and we think he can go to the next level under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. So City negotiate a contract with Vinicius Jr. He will be a crucial first-team player under Pep Guardiola. We don't want a 4-year deal, we want him on a full 5-year deal, because this man is available crazily on a free transfer. No release clause in his contract. I mean, he's probably got $1 billion at Real Madrid. They fell out with Vini over this, and then we're going to offer him less money. $550,000 per week, but we're going to give him a nice big signing bonus of around $4 to $5 million. Probably even more considering he's a free transfer. Vini Jr., will he accept it? Vini Jr. will accept it. He accepts a wage cut to move not only to the Premier League, but to link up with Pep Guardiola on a free transfer. What an incredible signing that is to Manchester City. And of course, it's an A rating for the signing of the Brazilian superstar, Vini Jr. 92 rated. He joins Manchester City. He's a great first team 11. That's an incredible signing. And here is our biggest ever signing perhaps in Manchester City history. Alongside the likes of Erling Haaland and Gigi Donnarumma, Hugo Viana, the City sports director, has gone and brought in another ready-made superstar to be a superstar at Manchester City. Pep Guardiola signs a new deal on the sort of agreement that Vini Jr. joins up with the club. Vini Jr. wants to join the club. Vini Jr. joins the club. What a signing that is. And I know there's questions about his ego. There's questions about his personality. That is something that he's agreed to put behind him if he's going to be a Manchester City player. And he is going to work everything he's got to be a Ballon d'Or winner and to be the best player he can be under Pep Guardiola. He's certainly got the quality to do so. And not only is Vini going to be the only Brazilian joining Manchester City, because we are looking at other Brazilians as well. And the other Brazilian we're looking at is this man here, Ram Pablo. Now, he plays for our sister club in Bahia. And the intention is to try and bring him in on a transfer from our sister club to Manchester City. There's a possibility to bring him in. And with Vini coming in, we want sort of high potential young players for the future. Ram Pablo certainly is one. He's 6 foot, right-footed. I mean, look at that. 93 pace and good dribbling already. I think he will be able to play as a striker, as a winger, but he certainly seems to be better maybe as a left winger, actually, rather than a right winger. And we've signed Vinicius Jr., and perhaps this man is the next Vinicius Jr. down the line in the future of football. So we are going to make a move for him and bring in 2 Brazilian superstars at the start of this transfer window. So deal agreed for an undisclosed fee, of course, because he's joining from our sister club. Ram Pablo joins Manchester City from Bahia. And he is another Brazilian superstar. He'll get his chance in pre-season. And he's one that Pep Guardiola himself sees a high potential in. The scouts think he is going to be a superstar for the future. I'm not sure what squad number he'll wear. Vinny won't wear number 7 either. I think he'll wear the number 11. But welcome to Manchester City, Juan Pablo. And more news around the transfer market. Spurs interested in Sacha Boey. And we are making moves our own, because Max Alain has moved to Toulouse on a 12-month loan. He's going to play that League and loan, that Saliba loan, it is in my eyes. And Christy McFarlane's going to play in the Scottish League now, 12 months on loan at Rangers. And now we're looking at centre-backs as well. And we know we spoke about Jared Branthwaite. This man, Castello Cabot, stands out to me. Look at those stats. Incredible on the ball, great defender, only 24 years of age. Alternative to Jared Branthwaite, and he could be the man to come in and play the backup to Joško Vardiol. Now, he's got a release clause, Castello Caba. We'll look at it. Sangare is going to get a Premier League loan to Everton for 12 months, which is a brilliant move. Floyd Samba joins Gorman, but only on loan, temporary move to Oxford United. And we have Maha Kadithho getting a Premier League loan after great play at Sporting. 12-month loan to Nottingham Forest. Lacanal Samuel's going to play La Liga football on loan at Levante. And the moves just keep on happening. Matheus Nunes completes a permanent move away from Manchester City for €30 million. Pep Guardiola continuing to refresh his side and make it more in this new image that he's looking for. And speaking of that, maybe Real Nuri could be on his way out, because there is interest from AS Roma and Leipzig and Nuri. And we don't know where he's going to fit exactly. He's going to play in the wing for us this season. He's going to stick around for now, but his future, I would say, is a little uncertain. And there is confirmation of Matheus Nunes' big move for $30 million to Aston Villa. He's been a fantastic servant for the club. And speaking of young players, we're not going to stunt around Pueblo, because it is time for Cavan Sullivan, the American superstar, to join at Manchester City this season. So we've got him on our list. We're going into pre-season, and the intention is to get Cavan Sullivan in the squad for pre-season. A big youngster leaving the club, though. €55 million sees Rico Lewis join Bayer Leverkusen. And he's not the only youth player leaving the club, because James Trafford, he's agreed a permanent deal to Newcastle United for €43 million. We'll have a recap of all the transfers coming in the transfer window, but there's some big ones away from the club there. And you can see Lewis joining Bayer Leverkusen, €55 million. It's going to cost them. That is a big move. He'll wear the number 7, and I think he will play midfield. He's only 22 years of age. We'll get a buyback in that deal, of course. Kotovic, he's going to get a championship loan at Leicester City on a 12-month loan move. And we're also seeing some big moves around the transfer window as well in the world of football. Cody Gakpo, he's moved to Borussia Dortmund. That seems like a very realistic move from Liverpool. And a slot, of course, moving to Bayern. Gakpo doesn't join him. Gakpo goes to the rivals in Dortmund. Now, a big move again for the youth academy. Oscar Bob, on the fringe of the team, is allowed to go for €38.5 million. Another A-rating deal for Hugo Viana here at Manchester City. And we've really started to move on this squad massively. And this piece of news here has really stood out to me. Tottenham are in talks with Fenerbahce. They're in talks with Fenerbahce to bring Ederson back to the Premier League. That would be an interesting transfer, wouldn't it? Whether it happens, I don't quite know. There's rumours about we're interested in a young man named Castro. I mean, I think that is more of a City Football Group Academy signing, like the Ram Pueblo one, but we won't be moving for him. I don't think. And Dedic, he's on his move to Sevilla. More moves away. Akrad Ahmed, he's going to join Bristol City on a 12-month loan. I think he was on loan there last season, so 2 years on loan there for him. And now we're going to make a move for another young player, and that is Oskar Pieniczowski. The next Overmars, you could say. Polish international, only 19 years of age. He's got high potential. He's highly thought of. And like Ram Pueblo, we are seeing him as a player for the future of Manchester City. And he's not going to be the only young man joining up with the squad, because he spoke about Cavan Sullivan. City agreed a deal with Cavan Sullivan when he turns 18. He would move to the Premier League champions, which we are not at the moment. Arsenal won the league last season. Pep Guardiola's not having that. He wants that title back. And there is Cavan Sullivan joining Manchester City. So we've got the best prospect coming out of the United States in Cavan Sullivan, joining up from Philadelphia, and he is going to play maybe a big role this season. He will get his opportunities in cup football, his chance to impress Manchester City. And he's not the only one. Like we said, Oskar Pieniczowski as well. He's going to join up with Manchester City. Probably the best young player coming out of Poland since Robert Lewandowski. That says the quality of young players we're bringing in. And we're always looking to build for the future. The likes of Marcaritho and Claudio Echeverri and these players that are in around the squad and will be there in the future, I'm sure. Maybe after the time Pep Guardiola leaves, these players get more of a chance. We spoke about the possibility of a new manager doing that. But he comes in here from Jalonia for €4.5 million. An absolute bargain. And now looking at sort of the right side of the fence. We spoke about someone playing as a right-back, right-sided centre-back. The man that Pep Guardiola obviously is very interested in real life, and the Man City really want, is this man, Tino Livramento. England international, can play right or left, which I love. He's got great pace, great physicality, great defending, great dribbling. Passing is decent, shooting's poor, but he can play that right wing-back role. As we said, we're going to play that 3 with the 2 wingers this season. At times, we're going to be pragmatic and move it to a wing-back role. Livramento can play the wing-back role really well. He can play right midfield. He can play a left wing-back role as well. He can play right to left back, and we're going to play him in a more central position. He's going to play a very similar role to what Kyle Walker did at Manchester City. And I feel like he could be, more so than Vini Jr., an incredibly impactful signing. I think he could actually make more of an impact on the team because of the defensive issues we've had from the previous season, that he could be the man to come in and be perhaps a superstar for Manchester City. We're going to make a move for him. We want to try and bring him in for around 70, 65 million euros, considering he's only got 1 year left on his Newcastle contract, or 2 years. So they're looking to move him on, and City, of course, do agree a deal with Newcastle. Finally find the breakthrough. 2 seasons on from the season where Manchester City tried to make a move for Tino Livramento, tried to make him a Manchester City player. 2 seasons on, Hugo Viana makes the deal. This is a massive deal. I mean, you've got Donnarumma and Erling Haaland turn up to see this man because they feel like he could be a transformative signing in terms of our defence. Yes, Vinicius Jr. is going to change the attack, but a new number 2, the final heir to Kyle Walker's throne in terms of the best right back in the Premier League, is another English international. It is Newcastle United's Tino Livramento. Welcome to Manchester City, Tino. He comes in for 65 million euros, an absolute bargain. And Tino, we're playing a big role in this side. Now, we looked at Jared Branthwaite on that left-hand side defence. He was the one to look for. He was the main target, really. England international as well. But I've changed my mind on Jared Branthwaite because I've actually gone and made a move for this man instead. I've switched things up, and we've gone and triggered the release clause in the RB Leipzig contract of Castello Luqueba. So Jared Branthwaite was the initial target. We swiveled up, our homegrown quota is fine, and we went for a more on-the-ball specialist in Castello Luqueba. I think he's much better on the ball than Branthwaite. And the Leipzig man comes in, and a fantastic deal to replace pretty much John Stones. €70 million release clause has been triggered. And he looks like a top player. I mean, look at his stats there. Defending, physical, brilliant. Dribbling, passing, and 86 short passing, 75 long pass, 73 vision, but his dribbling is unbelievable. He's actually a centre-back who can dribble his way out of tight spaces, and Livramento is going to be playing as sort of a false back, a full-back, lots of different roles this side. I mean, his stats are unbelievable. So quick, very physical, great defending, great dribbling. He is also going to make an unbelievable impact on this Manchester City side. So Oscar Piaczewski there, his stats look great, pacey. He's going to try and get him on a loan if we can do it and move him away from the club, really. That is the intention for him. And as for, of course, Juan Pablo as well, the intention for this young man is that he goes maybe on loan. But for this season, we might keep him in the squad. We're going to convert him to a left winger. I think he is the future Vinicius Jr. looking at those stats. And Cavan Sullivan, he's going to be trained to be a central midfielder, play a bit deeper. I mean, just look at some of those stats. 86 dribbling, 83 pace already. At such a young age, 75 rated. He could take the Premier League by storm if he's given chances by Pep Guardiola. And City are looking great with, of course, this man who joins the club, Vinicius Jr. First look at him, he'll wear the number 11 shirt, 27 years of age, ready for the prime of his career, 95 pace, 87 dribbling, 85 passing, 92 dribbling. I mean, that is crazy stats. His finishing is 92, his pace is ridiculous, his dribbling is 93 stats as well, 96 agility. He is going to be unbelievable for us. I think that could be our best ever signing. Development, Ryan McAdoo, he's developed well, 75 rated now after his bit of a summertime off, and the same for Mikasa, who finishes the summer at 76 rated, so players really developing. And Nico Riley, we're going to try and convert him to a midfielder. He takes the number 18 shirt for the season. Some of these squad numbers have been updated. Generally, Donnarumma will be the number 1 from now on, losing the number 25. And then, of course, City get into our first game of pre-season. It's City versus Atletico Madrid. Here is Vita Heiss. Ball forward here is Port from the fullback Vardiol. The chance here for the opposition who beats Bataya. And City are 1-0 down here at the start of this pre-season game. Atletico Madrid score a little bit too easy there. I'm not sure who the name is. It's the regen striker they've got. A regen perhaps of Sergio Aguero. Gets the ball on the turn. What a finish past Bataya. Can't keep that one out. It's Pulisic from pre-season with all over the place defensively. Vita Heiss is trying to get across here. Vita Heiss makes the challenge. He runs into Vardiol, has been poor in pre-season so far, and Bataya's beaten again. It's 2-0 Atleti. And both goals come from mistakes from Joško Vardiol. And a former Argentinian target for Manchester City, Thiago Almada, heavily linked with City when he was at Villa Sarsfield. Fires way into the roof of that past Bataya there, who's disappointed. Here is Ryan McAdoo, who takes the number 17 shirt for the season. McAdoo into Ram Pablo on his debut! Well, there you are. The young Brazilian who we said could be the new Vinicius Jr. comes on through the middle. Where's the number 52? And Ram Pablo scores. Well, Mikasa wear the number 20 for the season, what we saw Bernardo Silva wear. Ryan McAdoo wearing the number 17, which is an iconic number. Clips one into Ram Pablo. Nice touch and a thumping finish. He's actually quite physical, the Brazilian. He's quite a big man. Can play off that left, can play through the middle as well. Definitely one for the future in the City side. There's some young Brazilians coming through, isn't there, at Manchester City now. That is full time. City do find themselves facing defeat on the opening day of pre-season. It's just a chance for sort of us to get some fitness up and sort of test out some new ideas and new tactics. I'm not too worried about that, but I would be worried defensively a little bit. Guardiola was really poor there, and one thing we need to improve upon in this season is defending. We cannot defend like that again in the next game, in the next pre-season matchup. Well, there is Tino Livramento doing some kick-ups before the game because it's pre-season match day 2 for Manchester City, and Tino Livramento will make his first impression for the City side. City taking another Spanish side, this time the side from Seville. It's a former side of Manuel Pellegrini, former City manager. It is Real Betis who we will take on at the Stade Louis in Monaco, I think that is. Here is Reinders. Reinders with space. Dejani Reinders clips over top here too. It is Semenyo across the box. Marmoush! Ooh, that is an interesting goal by Manchester City. Omar Marmoush on the end of that. Lifted in by the header of Antoine Semenyo. And Marmoush just directs it goalwards to get it in the back of the net. But it is an interesting goal to score. Paul Lopez seems pretty happy with it. Or pretty unhappy with it. Semenyo flicks it in with a thumping header. Loops into the air. Marmoush does the similar with a really good header that beats Paul Lopez. And he gives Manchester City a 1-0 lead here in pre-season. Here is City with a chance, and that is it. Antoine Semenyo runs the ball out of play. Full time, City 1, Betis 0. Our first clean sheet of pre-season, which I think is quite big for this Pep Guardiola side. Like we said, defensively, we've got to improve this season. And Tino Livramento, you hope, can bring that to the side. Tino Livramento starts today, and City get their first clean sheet. Cavan Sullivan there with Echeverri, I think, is a little bit disappointed he's not played. I think a loan is on the cards for Echeverri this season. Once again, a Premier League loan, like he had at Brentford last season. Maybe it's someone like Nottingham Forest could be a good move for him. And he can get some game time there. Play alongside Maher Carrizo, who needs some Premier League experience as well. Well, there is some transfer news. Marcus Leonardo has moved from the Saudi Pro League to AS Roma. And a good talk about Anderson there, but big news, Livramento, what a performance. He's happy to play for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. And Edison still talk of him moving to Tottenham Hotspur, but now it seems that Leverkusen are the side that are frontrunners because Spurs have gone and signed Mike Maignan, the goalkeeper from AC Milan. And match day 3 of pre-season, the final game of pre-season for Manchester City as we take on Al Qasai, the Saudi side. There is... Then with a chance, Rek Gui, Otavio, a good challenge there by City at the back, Ryan Shaqi. Shaqi over top to Semenyo, star of last season, Semenyo bulldozes his way through, Antoine Semenyo, absolutely superstar quality. And his first real appearance of pre-season, he goes and clatters one to the back of the net, bundles his way through with pace and power, and finishes past the goalkeeper really well. Here is Vini Jr. Onto Haaland, picked by a knock, and here's Vini Jr. First chance really in pre-season to impress Vini Jr. Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. First Manchester City goal for Vini Jr. here. And it's a fantastic one from him. Curls one into the back of the net, does Vini Jr. And gives Manchester City a 2-0 lead. It's only pre-season, it's not really a competitive goal. You wouldn't say it's a really important goal. But he gets it on that stronger right foot. Gets his way away with his pace and he bends it in. I mean, he is going to score some goals this season, I believe, for this Pep Guardiola and Manchester City side. I really do believe that. Ooh, on the floor here, City with a bit of trouble. Not defending by Kusanov. It's Otavio who skips past 1 or 2. Poor defending by Manchester City. Passed on the limit. They pull one back. That is annoying to concede a goal there from nothing. Semenyo, lovely skill. Semenyo, Semenyo, Semenyo. Antoine Semenyo with a powerful strike. This man is a superstar. Left foot, right foot, it doesn't matter. And we've added Vinicius Jr. to this front line that scored so many goals last season. So yes, we've taken out Doku. Yes, we've added Vini. But Semenyo, I still think, at the moment, is our keyest, most important winger. On the top here to Bart. Good cross in. Otavio's in there, cleared away. Back out to Bart. Bart, too much skill. Oh, past Diaz as well. 3-2. City concede another poor goal again. Here is Savinho. Savinho. Reinders. Anderson. Vini Jr. to end the game. Vini Jr. shot into hands of the goalkeeper. Pre-season is over. 2 wins for City and 1 defeat in that time. What, 4 goals conceded something we need to do better going into the new season. On more transfer news, Manchester City Harrison Miles will be moving to Nashville on a 12-month loan. He's not the only one leaving the club on loan, because we've got Seven Naipan getting a Premier League loan with Crystal Palace for 12 months. He's coming back next season, trust me. Oscar Pitwalski, he's going to move to the Bundesliga with Hoffenheim on a 12-month loan. Another good move for one of our young players. Echeverri moves to Nottingham Forest. Premier League experience, another one on a 12-month loan. Regan Heskey, he's going to move to Liga NOS with Portugal and play for FC Braga on a 12-month loan. And then finally, Mattis Siltanen, he's going to join Brentford in a Premier League loan himself for 12 months. Well, this episode has been absolutely jam-packed with transfers, hasn't it? And I thought at the end of the episode we need a bit of a graphic just to keep you guys updated on the incomings and the outgoings, of course, in this City side, because there has been a lot of transfers. I mean, the main one, of course, is Vinicius Jr., who's on the graphic there, who moves to Manchester City on a free transfer. Of course, him and his agent will get a hefty transfer bonus. Massive signing for this City side. And 3 of the big incomings, one sort of a project player. The other 2 big incomings, of course, coming Castello Caba, €70 million release clause activated at RB Leipzig as a new centre-back, left-side centre-back at this City side. And Tino Livramento of Newcastle United, City finally getting their way with him and a €65 million deal. So 3 players come into the first team. Oscar Pitadowski, of course, he comes in from the Polish league, a €5 million deal thereabouts as a man for the project for the future. And of course, he has joined Hoffenheim on a season-long loan. So 4 major transfers in. But what about transfers, major transfers going out? Well, Jeremy Doku moves to Fulham in a €60 million deal. And of the 9 major transfers away from the club, 7 of them are players that have come from the City youth system. So Lewis leaves to join Leverkusen for €55 million. James Trafford to Newcastle for €43 million. Oscar Bob to Aston Villa for €30 million. And Matheus Nunes to Villa also for €30 million. And Ndala for €5 million to Sheffield United. And Finlay Gorman moving to Oxford with a buyback clause, of course, included in there, and including most of those deals for €1 million. So City, so far, under Viana and Pep Guardiola's, this is 12th or 13th season at the club, 12th I think. We've actually done really well in the transfer market so far. So in terms of spent, around €140 million. Sales, we've brought in €233 million. So we are working at a profit of €93 million. Of course, there's still transfers to happen in the next episode, where we will kick off with actual gameplay in terms of starting the season. You wait for Super Cup final to take on to start the episode as well in the next one. But things are looking good in terms of transfers. And I think in terms of first team transfers, unless there's any big departures, I'm happy to stick with the squad we've got. 3 major signings, 9 major outgoings, still some outgoings probably to happen as well, probably increasing that profit. Of course, Cavan Sullivan joins the club, but of course that is already a deal that's been agreed over previous seasons. Ron Pablo joins the club, but that's for an undisclosed fee as he comes from Bahia. And Manchester City are looking pretty good. Please do like the video if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let us know in the comments down below, what do you think of the transfers we've made in this transfer window, and we'll see you guys next time.